interrupt our program to bring you this important message.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Saturday night. Welcome to another Vikings Uncensored. We are live. We are here, and it is Border Battle Hate Week as the Minnesota Vikings travel to the toilet that is known as Lambeau Field to take on the Green Bay Packers tomorrow at noon.
Now is as good a time as any, Rhino, for me to pop in here.
Go for it, Lance.
Coming in, right away, right off the bat. I love when we get to see the comments come up right when we start the show. We got a lot of good ones coming up right away, especially about McCarthy. I know it, Rhino. Some weeks I come into the show, and it's not very often, but especially this season, coming into the show, not even wanting to fucking talk Vikings football, but we do it because that's why we have a podcast. A big reason that's what we signed up for, right? And this year, more than any in the 5 years that we've done this show, I'm starting to get like almost burnt out on this fucking Vikings team, and just the season's becoming a drag. But then, like I said, back to the comments, coming in and seeing your guys' comments before the show, it gives me that feeling in my stomach, like I'm kind of excited to do this. I'm actually happy to be here, seeing these comments. So your guys' comments. That is Vikings Uncensored, honestly. It's the best viewer show, I feel like, where the interaction is there with our commenters and everybody that comes in and watches the show. But that tonight, just seconds before we went on, I look over and I see your guys' comments, and I remember why I love doing this show, Rhino, to be honest with you. And it's a big part of it. I was one of those people watching shows before I was blessed enough to be able to build up this community on Vikings Uncensored here with Rhino at my side. So I'm glad to be here. I'm ready to talk Vikings football in spite of how the season's gone to this point. I see excellent comments. I mean, when it comes to my opinion as well with you guys on the McCarthy situation, which we're going to hit on like we basically had to all season with the way things have gone. But anyways, with that being said, Rhino, I'm here. I'm ready. I'm glad to be here. I'm happy to be here. And it's not over yet until the fat lady sings, in my opinion. So,
yep, I hear you. We got a lot of the OGs and some new ones in the chat. Davey Chains is back. Stephen, Anthony, Drew, Norse, Angel Duster. The names are showing up a little weird tonight for some reason or another.
They are. I noticed that too. All the YouTube names almost, I think it is.
Kurt's here. Good evening, everybody. Thank you for showing up. As always, we appreciate it. Brian's here.
Couple new names in there. Angel Dews. Some new names up in there. Yeah, nice seeing you all tonight. Especially.
Always love to see the new names on it. We got some couple of news items we're going to hit. Then we'll kind of do a recap of the Bears game and hit a few things there. And then, of course, the big thing, as we talked about at the beginning of the show, it is Hate Week. We have the Green Bay Packers tomorrow at noon, so we'll talk about that game as well.
Yeah, nice.
Do our predictions and all that fun stuff at the end here. So,
yep, I already thought about that.
Yep.
On Sunday, if you guys watch the show on a regular basis, you all know what Steven's getting at here. As I was watching that game, he was there. I was thinking it. I'm like,
Yeah,
damn it,
we
damn
we
it.
had the Bears douche barge show up last week. So those of you who weren't here last week, that he got kind of in here and got belligerent and turned into a real dickwad. So, but
Yeah. Let's get through
the
that news that you wanted to get through, so we can
yeah,
get to
we'll
that
start with
Bears
that.
recap.
A couple of somewhat Vikings related news. We keep hearing the whole stuff about Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold, the Vikings were stupid to let Sam Darnold go. Last weekend, Sam Darnold reminded us why the Vikings
Oh,
didn't.
there's more to come on that department.
Oh, I think there
I
is too.
guarantee you,
But
Rhino.
once again, against the Rams, Sam Darnold throws 4 interceptions and looked like absolute ass. Again, big game. The lead in the NFC West on the line, all that good stuff. And
Somebody is calling you out for your opinion, Rhino.
my thoughts on Ryan Kelly starting. I mean,
Twan probably can't even spell Twan Norse.
yeah. I'm torn on the Ryan Kelly thing. I mean, yes, we paid him a ton of money to come back, and your starters usually don't lose their job because of injury. But Blake Brandel has been playing really well at center the last couple of weeks, and
We're on the same page. I agree.
I honestly think that they should keep Brandel in there and Ryan Kelly back up at least for another week or two.
We have 2 starting centers on this team right now, I believe.
Yeah.
So it's good. It's a good problem to have. It's a good problem to have. Ryan Kelly's a starter, but you know what? The positive is we may have found our starting center for the next 3 to 5 years.
Yeah, and I think Ryan Kelly will be here for the rest of the year, but the way the contract is set up, it's easy for the Vikings to get out next year. And yes, I do honestly, as we sit here right now, I do think Blake Brandel is our starting center week 1 next year.
Yeah, and you know what? Drew's got it right here too. On the Darnold front, anyways.
Yeah. But there are still people that are sitting out there, we should have kept hit with it.
They're the same people that are JJ McCarthy haters.
And it's the same people who wanted to run Sam Darnold out of town
Probably
on a
Kirkistan's
rail
at one point in time too. Probably Kirkistan's one time.
After he shit the bed for 2 straight weeks at the end of last year. So Kurt's on Team Blake. Yeah, part of it for me is I am legitimately concerned about Ryan Kelly's long-term health, and I think he'll be wearing the Guardian cap and that kind of stuff, but
the way I look at it is we found our long-term answer at center. At the end of the day, you just tell Kelly, hey, you tell Kelly and Brandel, hey, at the end of the year, Kelly, we're going to let you walk, and Brandel, you're going to be our starting center going forward.
Yeah.
And if Kelly can't stay healthy for the rest of the season, we got Brandel right there to hop right back in.
Right. And I don't think we need to go after Powers Johnson.
I don't think so either. I think Brandel solidified this.
I think Brandel's our guy. I mean, I'd still like to find somebody better for a backup because right now, we've got
a developmental guy at least.
Well, we've got Timu Garrett Bradbury, who's our backup center. So
not. Oh yeah. I got you there.
As of right now,
I like what I've
not
seen
counting Ryan Kelly.
I think Brandel got maybe the best thing to happen to Brandel was him getting benched for that half a game or that 3/4 of that game. Even though that wasn't a holding call, and I believe that was what played a big part in him getting benched was that holding call, that no holding call against when he ended up getting benched. I don't remember who the opponent was at this point, but he ended up getting benched.
That was like his second week or
second start, yeah, and he ended up getting benched. But it was after that holding call that wasn't even there.
Right. Yeah, that was a shit call, but.
And outside of that, and all of his other play, he's played very well. And like I said, I think we got our starting center at the future going forward.
Yeah. Davey, on this, we have Brandel next year at $4 million. That's a fucking steal for a starting center.
Right. And I think we found our starting center in Blake Brandel. Once again, I'll say that over and over. I think that's the future right there. Unless he completely somehow forgets everything and shits the bed, he looks pretty good at center.
Yeah, I agree with this 100%, Drew. Now, I have questions as to whether or not Kevin O'Connell would buy into that, but man, looking at the draft, at some of the draft positioning and stuff right now, Jeremiah Love is falling right in about the area where the Vikings are going to be drafting, and he would look really good in that backfield out here.
Injury front, somebody just mentioned.
Oh,
What do
Brian.
we look like there?
For the most part, I think we're pretty good. I haven't heard yet.
This weekend?
Huh?
Is Grenard coming back this weekend?
Grenard is still questionable. I didn't see the injury report today. I apologize. I've been working all day long. I didn't get a chance to take a look
once
at
again,
it.
the viewers out there that are watching, if they happen to know the injury report, shout it out and we'll hit it up.
Right. But yeah, Ryan Kelly is back. Trying to think of who else was out. Otherwise, I think it's pretty much a go for everybody. But anyway, on to the last couple of things. Another quarterback that we really don't need to talk about anymore, Kirk Cousins, starting for the rest of the year in Atlanta because Michael Penix out for the year with an ACL injury.
That's a little bit to bite on over there in Atlanta for those fans anyways. I know a lot of them are getting sick of, losing, for the most part. So,
yeah.
Grenard is questionable per Norse.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It'd be a game time decision. The other news item that I'm going to yell about, bitch about, rant about, because it happened fucking again. Jim Marshall and Chuck Foreman both did not make the cut to the next round for the Hall of Fame. I swear to fucking God, the people who have votes for the Hall of Fame committee have their heads shoved so far up their asses. It's just,
yeah, it's just it's becoming a common theme year after year with him becoming a finalist and just not getting the vote in.
It's fucking stupid. The whole thing is because of that one goddamn play.
It is. That's absolutely it.
Absolutely what it is.
Wrong way return on Jim Marshall's resume. Everything goes back to that. That's what.
And he should have been in the fucking hall 20 years ago. And unfortunately, now he is no longer with us, so he will not get to, enjoy getting put into the hall. But he is every bit as deserving as anybody else in that fucking building.
Yeah, I agree. And then there's Iron Man and everything. Yeah. That's never going to get his position.
Yeah, I mean, it just, Lance, you got
yeah, I got to no. My straight to the point answer is no. He's not going to replace Hitman though. I look for them to either grab somebody in free agency or draft his replacement.
Yeah. If they don't go running back in round one, the kid out of Ohio State is right in that range too that I've seen.
And with that being said, Metellus had a really, really, really off season.
Well, the problem with Metellus is they're asking him to play a more traditional safety role instead of the Swiss Army knife all over the fucking place like he has the last 2 years.
Well, he's been missing tackles too. A lot of the players on this defense have uncharacteristically been making poor tackling.
Yeah,
have had poor tackling fundamentals. A lot of them trying to arm tackle this year.
There's been a breakdown of a lot of that this year, and I don't understand why. But
yeah, I don't know what's going on there, but I think a lot of that is you're seeing that. After they start to get wore out and the defense gets tired, and gassed towards the end of the game. You're seeing a lot
there's
of
some of that, but I mean, there's some of it earlier in the games too.
Ivan
Pace has been awful about it this year. The cornerbacks, a lot of them have been missing tackles. The safeties have been pulling up and not hitting.
You got Rodgers almost knocking himself out of the game last week.
Yeah. Excuse me. But yeah, that's a good. Speaking of last week, we can just roll into the Bears recap.
I expected us to come out fired up and ready to go and put the pedal to the metal. That's not what happened.
Not what happened. No.
And the thing is for as badly as we've played, and I think close to 4 games of our losses out of this season, as badly as we played in 4 of those games,
We still should. We
we
still
still
should have
the other
won
team
those
was trying
games.
to hand us the win.
Yep.
You know, and I don't know why. I don't know why or what's going on with that, but there's definitely 4 games on the schedule that could have easily been wins
Yep.
that are not.
Right.
Great comment. Great comment right here at the bottom. Yes.
Yeah, there is that.
There's been
Yeah.
3 times this year where I see a wide receiver or tight end carrying 4 or 5 fucking Vikings because they're too busy trying to cause a turnover. It's getting to the point where they're getting fed probably by, and I'm not saying this is a bad thing or anything, but it has not worked. But they're getting fed over and over. You got to cause turnovers. You got to cause turnovers where they're too worried about causing turnovers where they're just not playing fucking football.
Right. Yeah, and we're not causing the turnovers this year, and that's the problem. What we got, like 5?
You have to see the opportunity and then make it. Not fucking you can't be forcing it with 5 different guys trying to go and strip for the ball and then getting dragged fucking into the end zone or 10 extra yards.
What you should be doing there is you got 4 guys holding the guy up and then a 5th guy coming in to try to knock the fucking ball out.
And at the same time, this guy's getting extra yards or getting into the end zone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen prime examples that I can think of off the top of my head. Laporta dragging guys into the end zone for that touchdown. And then last week, Roma Dunze, of all fucking people. Nobody could tackle that guy?
Yeah. Well, like I said, it was a comedy of error. The Bears begged us to take that game, just like the Eagles begged us to take the game a few weeks ago.
This shit's been going on for fucking years, I feel like. Since I've been a fucking Vikings fan, this shit's been going on.
I remember like the first 4 or 5 weeks of this game of this season, we hadn't given up a third and 7 plus or whatever. We gave up 2 of them last week.
Yeah, through the first 4 weeks of the season, once it was 3rd and 7 or longer, then we weren't giving up. And then the one guy busts the run, and ever since then, it seems like it's fizzled out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but going back to last week, fairness in advertising, everything else, last week we ripped the shit out of Kevin O'Connell for everything that was going on. Play calling was better last week.
It was all execution, man. It was all execution.
Hey, we on our first 3rd and short, we ran the ball. And guess what happened?
We converted.
We got a fucking first down.
Right.
But, there's no ifs, ands, or buts way around it. J.J. McCarthy was bad last week.
Yeah, he's got it.
He was bad. I mean, and you can see what the problem is. When he gets out and starts moving around, his footwork and his lower body is just terrible.
Right.
But he's doing it well in practice. So when he gets out there, he forgets it or whatever happens and he gets too amped up. I don't know what it is.
Amped up. Maybe 9 needs to be retired. His alter ego. Maybe he just needs to go out there and play.
Let's stop with the 9 stuff for a while until we get shit figured out. Then we can bring him back again.
Right.
But then you look at like the drive at the end of the game where they went to go ahead. They simplified things and they ran a little hurry up and stuff where he couldn't overthink stuff. And then he was fucking money.
Honestly, throughout the years, I wish the Vikings offense would run more hurry up. And then, what's really funny is throughout the years too. I don't know if this is just the Vikings thing again, but it gets down to be like the 4-minute fucking play clock, our 4-minute drive. And you're like, what the fuck are they doing? Huddling up, taking all this time off the fucking clock. Why aren't they calling a timeout? The clock management has basically been horrible at the end of halves for the longest fucking time.
Clock management's been Kevin O'Connell's Achilles heel ever since he's been
I'm always feeling like, come on, let's go. Why are you fucking wasting all this time?
Yeah.
Always for the last decade and a half or better. Why don't we run more tempo? And you know what? Whenever I see the Vikings offense run tempo, it seems like it runs pretty fucking well. Let's go early 1990s Bills and just never fucking huddle.
Yeah, run the J gun instead of the K gun.
Right.
Angel, yeah. I had this on my notes, so we can talk about it right now. TJ Hawkins, I don't know what the fuck has happened to him.
Dude, he has looked horrible. He
He
going
has
back
not
to the
been worth a
At this
shit.
point, he's overrated. At this point, he's one
Oh
of the
God,
most overrated tight ends in the
absolutely
league.
he is.
He
For the
looks
amount of
nothing
money
like he did when he first got here.
for the amount of money he's getting paid, he should not be dropping passes left and right like he has the last couple of years. There was a couple last week. I mean, yes, JJ McCarthy was inaccurate last week, but he had 5 or 6 flat out drops there too. And Hawkinson had a couple of them.
No, and that's not it. It's Hawkinson giving up on himself or just not putting in the effort anymore. I don't think the team
Or he got paid and he
they would
didn't
have him
fucking
playing.
care anymore. One or the other. I don't know.
If the team gave up on Hawkinson, he wouldn't be on the field.
No. Now, to the point, yeah, they would have to, if they keep him, they're going to have to restructure him because they can't pay him what he's getting paid right now.
Gone. He's gone. I don't covet him that much that I don't think we can find somebody else who can put up better fucking stats.
Yeah, you can go get some young guy that's going to.
As much as I love the guy,
Josh Oliver can be your tight end 1 and be doing better than Hawkinson is right now.
I agree. At this point in time, yeah, and I hope something fires Hawkinson up and he shows the fucking shades of old. Yeah, but right now he doesn't even look like a competent number 2 tight end at this point.
No, no, and not getting paid $15+ million a year for it.
He's looking like his counterpart, Noah Fant.
Yeah. Laporta and Kraft are still better than him, and they're both out. Yeah. That's the problem.
Musgraves might even be better than fucking Hawkinson at this point.
Yeah. I don't know what the hell happened to him, but whatever.
I like Hawkins. I wish he would succeed.
I do too. I do too. He's a good dude,
but he has been gone. He's been so far gone since he came back from his knee injury. It's hard for me to think he deserves a spot on the roster. I love Hawk, the person and the guy, but right now he's taking up a roster space.
Yeah, and this is a business. If you're not producing, you got to either shape up or get the fuck out. So I do think, especially with the cap situation next year, I do think Hawkinson's gone after this year.
And at this point, I mean, a competent tight end isn't hard to find. No, and right now, Hawkinson isn't even a competent tight end.
No, we've got one. Oliver's a decent tight end. Now we've got all these young guys, Urasek and.
I'd like to see what we got in Bartholomew when the time comes.
Bartholomew when he gets off
next preseason, see what he brings to the table.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. But one other thing from last week I want to bring up, and we can talk about this.
Is this true, Brian? This is definitely yes. It's definitely something that.
Yeah, he's trying. He basically is trying to throw, and this is the funny thing, with the pre-draft and all this other stuff. Everybody was saying he doesn't have the fucking arm strength to do anything. He's got too much arm strength.
Missiles now.
Yeah. That's the thing. He's got to learn to get that touch on the ball because you don't need to throw it 150 miles an hour through a fucking brick wall every time you throw the ball.
Right.
And when you combine that with...
Does that play into the fact that our receivers aren't catching everything that's thrown their way?
I think that's some of it. But
these are supposed to be professional guys, though. I remember hearing stories about Brett Favre breaking people's fingers.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball so fucking hard. John Elway breaking people's fingers too, throwing the ball so hard. So, yeah. I mean, if you're a receiver and the ball hits you in the hands, Rhino,
you got to catch it.
In the league, I don't care if it hits your fingertips. If it's anywhere in the vicinity of your hands and you don't make the catch, then what are you doing playing in the NFL? Mm-hmm. To be honest, you're getting paid millions of dollars.
Yeah, whether it's a freaking rainbow or whether it's a fucking
cruise
missile coming in there at you, yeah.
But at the same time, he needs to learn.
He
needs to learn to take some touch off the ball. I'm not being a sympathist here. He does. He needs to learn to layer the ball in right and put the right touch on. But at the same time, I don't care.
Get some air under some of these instead. You got to know when to fire it in there and when to layer it in there, and he hasn't figured that out yet.
Right. But you do see flashes of it.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
do.
thing is the thing with McCarthy is yes, he's played so bad, but you could see the potential greatness that's there.
Yep. And that's why, these people that are ready to give up on him after 5 games, it's fucking stupid.
And I'm not asking for sympathy here for the kid, but in all reality, the kid's 22, playing in a big man's game, and I know, yes, well, that's not an excuse for the kid at all. But man, he's 22 years old and playing the hardest position in all of fucking sports.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and like we talked about before the show, and he had talked about it earlier this week in one of his pressers. It's like a cork on a fucking wine bottle. He feels like he's right there. It's just gonna pop off, and I feel like it too. Like when I was a kid growing up, I had a hard time learning how to ride my bike. But one day I just woke up, I hopped on my bike, and I was off. And I feel like that could be the case here too with McCarthy.
But
He's
one
going
other
to need
thing,
a big game sometime at some point in this season.
one other thing he said this week though too is about having to relearn how to play quarterback because how he was taught is different than how. To me,
I
that
agree, Norse.
yeah,
I
Norse
absolutely 100% agree.
other way, Lance.
No, on my screen it's this way.
No, it's on the main screen. It's over there.
Oh well, I'm over pointing the fucking wrong way every fucking week, and now somebody tells me I'm not.
Yeah,
Yeah, on my screen it's this way. But anyways, you guys know I'm pointing at the messages.
right.
I'm just gonna stop pointing.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah.
Okay, so off of McCarthy, yes, he played a shitty game, and yes, he needs to get better. All this other stuff, but the one thing I want to hit last
I
week,
love the Moss quote. Yes.
yeah,
Moss had a great quote this week too on McCarthy.
mm-hmm. We were in a position to win that game until the fucking special teams just fucking 2 a.m. Taco Bell shit all over themselves on the
No,
field.
Rhino, you kick that shit to the back of the end zone. You do not allow them to take the ball out on a return. You kick it out of the end zone and make their offense put together a drive.
Yeah, I mean they start at the 35 there instead of at our 40
Instead of
or
their own
whatever the hell
fucking
it was.
40, instead of the Vikings 40.
Right. But the most infuriating part about this, I heard this earlier this week. Mark Craig from Star Tribune actually asked this question and got it and found out about it. They knew that Duvernay was going to pull a run like that, or that's how he was going to do it on one of these run backs. They knew it and they practiced it during the week, but there were 3 players: Austin Keys, Ivan Pace, and Ty Felton, who left their lanes and went to go try to play hero ball.
Matt Daniels needs to get the fuck out of here.
And that was going to be my point on here again. You have to have control of your guys and make sure that they are staying in their fucking lanes. You don't,
Especially when your best is required.
When you know it's coming.
Be at your best is when your best is required. Yeah, it really fucking reflects on this fucking team, doesn't it, Rhino?
Right. But Matt Daniels, yes, he needs to be gone at the end of the year. The special teams, shy of Reichert and Miles Price has been pretty good this year. Yeah, and Norsefius, you're right, and he was actually in the right spot. But the other guys.
You know what though? Solves all that. You kick it out of the back of the end zone.
Yeah, and then you don't have to cover it. So yeah, I still, that one still baffles me why they didn't just kick it out the back, because we know Reichert can kick it out the back of the end zone.
Stupid shit.
Yeah.
You talk about playing at your best when your best is required. Fucking kick that shit out of the back of the end zone. Just be smart. Be smart.
Yeah.
That's what my opinion would have been the smartest thing to do, is not even allow a fucking return. The first thing Rhino said to me after we kicked that field goal to take the lead was, did we leave too much time on the clock?
Yeah.
And the feeling that something was going to go wrong.
Yeah, I was just going to bring this up in regards to Drew's comment discussing act, but thank you for bringing that up. There are going to be really tough questions asked in the offseason here. And I do believe that there are going to be people who will not be with this team next year, whether they're scapegoats or whatever. Matt Daniels needs to go.
Absolutely. Chris Cooper needs to go.
Now, to be fair with Cooper, the offensive line has played better the last few weeks.
I think that's in spite of who is the coach.
And I'm not being a Chris Cooper apologist. It wouldn't hurt my feelings at all to see him go, and I've been advocating for it before. But I mean, I can see this going all the way up to, yes, he got a contract extension, but is Kwesi on the hot seat? Grigson, they should have never hired that dumb bastard to begin with.
No.
But, somebody's going to answer for all these, spending all this money on these older, high-priced veterans that haven't panned out. Hargrave, again, we called him out a few weeks ago, and then he had a great game, and now he's kind of fallen off again. Jonathan Allen found his way off the milk carton, but he hasn't really found his way onto the stat sheet.
It's been a long time, Josh, a disgusting act. It's been a long time since I felt good about this offensive line going forward.
Yeah.
And it's a young offensive line primed for their best season next season.
Yeah.
But you know what? But they're primed to end the season on a high note.
Yeah. So, but look at last week. McCarthy didn't get sacked last week.
No. Like I said, they're primed. They're right where we thought they would be, but it's just too many weeks into the season for them to get there.
Yeah.
But yes, this offensive line's ready to battle with a lot of fucking teams going into the future.
We're starting to get to the point where that offensive line is what we thought it was going to be.
And Jackson's only going to get better and better. Brando's going to get better at center with more time there, and he's already looked like a competent starting center in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Fries is looking much, much better than what he did.
Well, it's amazing what happens when you actually have a good center and your Pro Bowl right tackle next to you instead of Justin School and
this offensive line,
Timu Bradbury,
quietly creeping its way into the top 5 offensive lines in the league, and it will be there next season for the majority of next year, barring anything catastrophic injury wise.
Yeah.
So
Steven, run Jordan Mason more. Yeah.
I called that out during the game last week as well. Mason needs more carries, and if you're worried about Mason and his pass blocking, then run more pass plays out of heavy sets.
Yeah.
You do. You just
run the fucking ball more.
Oh yeah, or just run the ball more. Yeah, absolutely.
Or do your 2-back set like you said. Put CJ Ham in there to block.
Yep. Consistency absolutely is a big thing as well, Tracer. Absolutely. Yep. Once they got some actual playing time together. But I think a lot of it to start out the season was just complete chaos. Utter chaos. There's no communication on that offensive line whatsoever. Guys weren't playing very well either, So, but yes, a lot of it has to do with getting some work in together in game time situation.
And that's my concern.
I agree, Steven. That's what I was getting at with the heavy sets.
With taking Brandel back out of the game now and putting Kelly back in, is those guys were finally starting to get consistency. They played a few games together and stuff, and now you're going to switch that up again. I don't know that that's a good idea.
I think it's a good problem to have. I don't think it's a bad thing. Unless unless it comes down to the player in a personal. Is he going to get down on himself, Brandel? No, I think you tell Brandel he's the center of the future, regardless going forward. So he can hold on to that. You give Kelly the chance to finish out his year, respectively. And it's not like he wasn't playing bad before he got hurt.
No,
if he was playing bad before he got hurt, then you let Brandel keep the job. But out of a respect standpoint, he didn't. If he gets hurt, Brandel, it's your job again. That's just how simple it is.
Yeah. I'm just concerned. I'm worried about Ryan Kelly's long-term health on here too, and it's five.
It's a personal decision on Kelly's part. At
It
this point,
is.
we might have stepped on his toes if he wants to give it another whirl. Like I said, he wasn't playing shitty before he got hurt. If the dude wants to come back with his veteran and the time that and the work that he's put in this league, hey man, yeah, have your best shot. If you get injured though, that's it.
I guess we'll see what
Right.
happens. But anyway, yeah. Let's. Anything else you want to talk about that other stuff before we roll into the Packer preview?
Gotta start winning some games. I don't care.
Yeah.
Especially when the other team's trying to handle it. For as bad as we played, we've been in most of the games outside the Chargers game. So,
and I don't think that would necessarily be a surprise.
It wouldn't be a surprise. That's what I'm saying here. We have a good problem on our hands. Yeah. If Kelly gets injured, that's when he loses his job again. If not, you let him play out the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So would not surprise me at all if Kelly came out and had a great game tomorrow. I expect that out of him. It's not like he was playing like shit beforehand.
Right. But one thing of that offensive line last week, combined ratings, they were the number 2 offensive line in the league last week.
Yeah, this team is sneaking up on people. This offensive line unit is sneaking up on other groups in the league as far as good offensive line work goes.
Yeah. Steven, that's a great segue into the Packer preview because that is the first thing on my list of stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we weren't able to take advantage of it last week, so this Packers team is fucking garbage. They were more overhyped than we were coming into this season.
Yeah. Well, they are every year. But
Jordan Love is the most overrated player in the league, in my opinion. He has got more people on his nuts for whatever reason. I don't understand. But Jordan Love is the most overrated player in the NFL.
But the Packers have 18 players on the injury report this week, including.
Yeah, that kind of pisses me off too, Rhino. One more thing before the injury report.
Yeah.
We didn't touch on that, but yeah.
We got sidetracked. I had that on my notes. The Vikings did release Dwight McClothern. Now they did get him signed back to the practice squad, and I'm guessing he will be active.
I did not
tomorrow.
hear that part of it.
Yeah, they signed him back today, but
thank God.
They only had 3 active cornerbacks on the frickin' roster: Murphy, Rogers, and the island of Fabian Moreau. So
you're right.
So yeah, I mean they got McClothern will be back up, but
before you start the injury list, I want to say one more thing before we get into the future in the Packers game. Right now, our focus should be getting back to 500 at 6-6. Let's just stick with that, and then after that, whatever, if we can get there, then the windows open up a little bit. The sun started peeking in.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get to 6-6. Right now, we just talk football. We don't talk about anything else other than just that. And I'm from the commentators on down about playoffs or nothing. I don't want to hear nothing about that. In my opinion, we should be focused on getting back to 500 at 6-6, and then once we get there, then we start talking about whatever else can happen after that.
So Cam Akers got cut. I didn't see that. So then why did they cut McClothern to begin with? Because my understanding was that the reason why they released him was to open up a roster spot to bring Ryan Kelly back. But if they let Akers go, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Unless there's still another move coming that we don't know about yet. But
Cam Akers, why even bother? Why do we? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if he's back on the fucking roster before the end of the season.
They probably released him so somebody else can sign him and we can trade a 6th-round pick to get him back.
Yeah, probably. Anyways.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. But anyway, the Packers, 18 players on their injury report this week, including all 5 of their wide receivers, 3 cornerbacks, 3 defensive linemen, and quarterback Jordan Love also on there with a issue with his non-throwing shoulder. Now
his vagina. got sand up in there.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah, Akers was on the practice squad. All right. Yeah, you okay, you guys are right. Yeah. Yeah, Jordan Love has a not quite as significant of a shoulder injury as Carson Wentz had, but he's got an injury to his non-throwing shoulder. The big one, though, Josh Jacobs is a game time decision. He banged up his knee last week, was limited all week in practice. And there's a lot of talk that they may err on the side of caution and sit him this week because they have Detroit on Thanksgiving.
Now we're at Lambeau tomorrow, right?
We're
in
at
Lambeau.
Lambeau, yes.
Yeah.
Which is fine because we can get the cold out of the way because then when we play them the second time, it's later in the year. And
look, it matters. We're at home right now. We're playing at home.
Well, right. Yeah, we're actually better on the road right now.
Yes.
So.
Oh, this fucking pisses me off.
Yeah, we talked about this last week. We don't have a home field advantage right now.
You need to be playing your best fucking football at home. You need to be playing your best football at all times, but expectedly at home.
We're what, 1-4 at home this year?
Over the last 2 seasons or 3 seasons, our home record has just been completely shit.
Well, we talked about this. I mean, we're losing a third of our home games.
You know, a lot of the times we catch ourselves talking about the same shit week after week with this team, and it just doesn't fucking.
Well, but that's the problem. Is we have to talk about the same shit week after week because they don't fix it from the fucking week before.
Exactly.
Yeah, Steven, I don't think he was going to play. That's just my gut feeling. Now, I could be completely off wrong. There could be the lumpia that I ate beforehand that's not agreeing with me. But
KOC's had Green Bay's number for the last 2 years, and a lot of the times we come out really hot, especially like last year in Lambeau. We came out with a 21-0 lead, but what had happened? We couldn't fucking finish. I mean, we did. We finished the game with the win, but we barely squeaked it out.
Yeah.
So I mean, KOC's been pretty red hot against this Packers defense and overall, but just haven't. It'd be nice to see us put together a complete game against the Packers tomorrow. Well, like we did a couple weeks ago against Detroit.
You know, we talked about this before the show and stuff, and I brought it up this week on our Gallagher.
I still can't believe we lost to the fucking Bears last week. Excuse me. I'm still processing that.
No, I know. But how sweet would it be for this being the week where it all clicked for J.J. McCarthy?
Yeah, it's possible. I absolutely believe it's possible.
No, it absolutely it is.
And it's got to be weighing heavy on McCarthy. And he's handling it like a pro. He's handling all this criticism like a pro. But I mean, deep down inside, when you're at home with the wife and kids, it has to be fucking weighing on him just tremendously.
And then, of course, you've got Justin Jefferson.
Got your hometown crowd booing you out of the stadium field.
And you've got Justin Jefferson, who is absolutely so pissed off he wants to get traded right now. And then, of course, he talked about how he's trying to be there for J.J. McCarthy to help him through his struggles and all this other stuff and all.
That's the worst case scenario right now. Is it goes that bad that for
it's not going that. That's not Justin Jefferson.
That's the worst case scenario though.
But unfortunately, it's all these fucking people in the national media and everything. I can't.
Even a lot of fans are buying into that shit now too.
I can't count the number of fucking posts I saw this week about him being traded to the Patriots.
Turk, we played a good game against Detroit. That was a complete game, in my opinion, against Detroit. That's probably our best game of the year. Best game of Kevin O'Connell's coaching tenure. But yeah, I think Cincinnati and Detroit played complete games. And Cincinnati wasn't even a complete game, I don't believe. I think we had mistakes that game.
Yeah, I mean, we did, but, it helped when you had, 2 defensive touchdowns. And
I do, Norse. I do.
Yeah.
Justin's being a great leader, and
he is.
It's nice to see that he's not fake, because a lot of these guys at this time, the fakeness would start to peek through.
Yep, the diva would come out, but
the fakeness would start to peek through.
That's the problem, though. It's that fake fucking narrative that, national media people and stuff, that people who are supposed to know what the fuck is going on are just they've all become these fucking clickbait. Freaking.
What was it you were telling me about Rossini the other day?
Yeah, Diana Rossini was out on whatever fucking show she was on saying that the Vikings were probably going to cut ties with JJ McCarthy at the end of the year.
No. You know what? A lot of these people and a lot of the fans, especially, it's really starting to piss me off. But they gotta have the patience with it. This is what we've been wanting for the longest time, and I believe truly that you cannot just. He hasn't looked so bad to the point where he's looked like complete garbage, like Malik Willis garbage his rookie year, or nothing like that, or whatever you might say. The promise is there, I believe. It's just
Oh,
you gotta
it
have to have,
absolutely is, because as
you
bad
need
as
to
he
have
looked
patience
for
with this kid.
most of the game against Chicago, when they clicked it on and that they started running tempo and stuff, then the kid showed what we expect to see out of him.
The flashes are there of what
Yeah.
could be coming. Yeah, I said the same thing, Tracer.
Yeah. What?
Exactly. Great comment, Kurt. Great comment. Detroit was, like I said, Detroit was that complete game that you want to see.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe there's more. I believe there's
Oh, there
more.
is absolutely
McCarthy
more,
has
because
so much
that
more to
was far
offer.
from a perfect game.
Right, but as far as this season goes, that was the best game that we played.
Yeah,
Was
I
against
would
Detroit.
tend to agree with that.
But I mean, there's so much more there that the potential is brimming with this kid.
Yeah, there's some of that discussing act, but I mean, you could, if you watch that interview that she had with Kevin O'Connell during training camp, that was one of the most awkward interviews I have ever seen
It was
in all of my years of watching sports. You could tell that
It was
O'Connell
pretty good.
didn't want to be there, did not want to be talking to her, and just wanted her to fucking go away. But she used to be a respected journalist. Now she's just another one of those fucking shock jock clickbait. I'm going to throw some outrageous bullshit out there because people are like us are going to get pissed off about it and go, reply on it, and then it gets clicks. I mean, it just is what it is.
She was not welcome.
No, I don't think she was, Norris. Yeah, looking else. Packers defense coming up. Their back end is not anything special.
Not at all. Not at all. There's definitely room there to feast against these corners and defensive backs. They got a good guy. What's his name that came over from McKinney? Xavier McKinney.
Xavier McKinney, yeah.
It's probably their best defensive back.
And that's the guy we got to watch out for because he's really good at picking off passes.
When somebody talk about Addison, he's had an off year, man. Addison's had an off year. Even all the receivers have had off years this year. So this offense's potential is there. We just need to have that one breakout game.
Yeah.
McCarthy just needs to get that feeling of that coming out game inside.
He's got to just find that zone and sit in there and then just freaking start,
The thing is that he does things that you don't see other rookie quarterbacks do, like as in throwing multiple touchdown games, and then you see him go and make the boneheaded mistakes as well. Yeah. It's cleaning up those other small things because he has a potential to win games for you when he's out there throwing for multiple touchdowns in games. When a lot of times you see rookie quarterbacks throwing for one game and then the next game they don't get one and it's all the running game. He's making things happen from that quarterback position. It's just about eliminating the boneheaded mistakes, the bad throws, and just getting into a rhythm. Getting into a rhythm as being the guy at all times.
Yeah. Steven, Jalen Naylor he's probably been the best wide receiver on this team the last few
weeks. Yes.
Yeah. You're not wrong there discussing act.
That's exactly the hardest thing for a lot of these fans.
And even if he didn't have the starts last year, he should have had the practice and the things like that, which he couldn't do.
Drake May is a prime example here. We talked about it last week. I look for McCarthy to come out next year like Drake May came out this year.
Yeah. That would be the
goal. If he doesn't, That's when we seriously start pumping the brakes here a little bit and say, okay, what's going on?
Yeah. With McCarthy, you give him at least 2 years as a starter to figure out what you've got.
And some of the conversations that people want us to have this year at this point in time should be reserved until next year at this point in time.
Yeah. If he still looks really bad at this point in time next year, then yes, we will have that conversation. You and I will have that conversation on this show.
Opportunity of time. People need to have fans, media, people need to afford him that period of time because they afford other quarterbacks around this league that same amount of time. A lot of fucking organizations do. And we preach here about not failing your quarterback. So no, we're not getting rid of McCarthy at the end of the season.
No.
O'Connell's going to stand on that mountain and die with that mountain if it comes to it before we see the end of McCarthy.
Yeah. And I'm not going to even put that one up there because they do have good players on their defense. They got Micah Parsons. They've got Rashawn Gary. Rashawn Gary always gives us problems.
The defensive line is a little meh.
Devontae Wyatt is a decent player. He's not what they expect him to be, but he can still cause some problems.
This offense that we're bringing into Lambeau should be able to, in Anthony's defense, our offense should be able to play fairly well tomorrow against this Green Bay defense.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, coming in right off the bat.
Sarah comes in hot every time she does.
First comment of the night coming in from
Sarah with the comments every time she shows up, and we appreciate the hell out of that.
Yeah, exactly. Might be the comment of the season right there.
Yeah, exactly right. And I told you this on Gallagher earlier, or whatever it was earlier this week. We have no place getting overconfident.
Ant is talking ant talk right now, Ryan.
I know he is, and that just kind of that kind of sun rises in the east, sets in the west, and Ant's going to have keyboard Tourette's. We know that, but love you, Ant. But yes,
Steven, I feel like I've been saying this week after week this all season, man.
No, you can't. He can't have a short leash. He can't. You got to let him play it out.
Yeah. I think at this point you need to go fucking head first in, and regardless of
what are you gonna do? I mean,
unless he goes out and does what's his fucking face from Buffalo 5-6 years ago went and did and threw like 6 picks in the first
Nathan
half.
Peterman, yeah.
Unless you go out and Nathan Peterman, you fucking stick with the
5 interceptions and 7 passes or whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah. Unless he goes out and completely Nathan Peterman's his pants, you stick with the kid throughout the entire game. So
yeah, because I mean.
How did that guy even have a fucking professional?
He's still in the league, I think.
How does that guy like that still have a fucking career in the NFL?
I don't know. But you think about it, okay, we benched McCarthy. Then you're bringing in Brosmer. And I know everybody loves Brosmer, but again, this is kind of with Brosmer, we need to pump the brakes with him. This is kind of the Kyle Sloter type thing here where yeah, Brosmer looked great in the preseason.
He's a mystery bag. Everybody loves the mystery bag.
But again, it was against vanilla defenses. He's not going to see those vanilla defenses if he gets thrown into the mix here now.
This is good. This is a good comment, and not really a good comment, but if Nathan Peterman can still be in the league, how come Josh Roseman isn't still in the league? But I think a lot of it goes back to personality too. Maybe Nathan Peterson's just a really nice guy. So
and Josh Roseman was kind of a dick.
He was so full of himself.
Yeah,
he probably spoke of him. He's like Josh Rosen doesn't like this. Like spoke of himself in the third person. Yeah, arrogant motherfucker for sure.
Yeah, and Josh Rosen got himself cut after his first year for Kyler Murray, who's probably going to get cut this year. So
that's a great comment too, Turk. And I understand a lot of the fans are upset with that. Why start the transition to JJ when you have a Super Bowl roster? That's a good point. That's a good point, Rhino. I don't know what to say to that, really.
Yeah, I get that.
I think KOC and the organization were expecting more out of JJ McCarthy, and I'm sorry that's what it is, but that's not what we're getting. Right. But at the same time, they have to afford him that time to develop, regardless. Yeah, you made the mistake of not going and getting that veteran guy that maybe you should have went and got. Aaron Rodgers obviously isn't the reason. Look what happened in Pittsburgh.
No, I think they probably, knowing what they know now, they probably
Maybe you went and got Jameis Winston. Maybe you went and got a Joe Flacco instead of Carson
I think
Wentz.
they probably tell Daniel Jones that, hey, you're going to get a chance to compete here. Now Daniel Jones has come back to earth the last couple of weeks, so
And yeah, and you know what? Sometimes you're just wrong. Is
but
it
I don't
worth the
think they're
job? Though, or not?
I
I don't
don't
know.
think they're wrong with JJ McCarthy. Were they
I don't
wrong
think
with
so
him
about
this
that.
year?
I don't think maybe though.
But
Maybe they should have brought a veteran in and let McCarthy sit for one more year.
they should have had a better backup plan than
But
Sam
at the
Howell,
same time,
Sam Howell couldn't find his ass in the dark with both hands and a
in, a,
flashlight.
in an optimistic outlook here, at the same time, who's to say that this isn't the best thing that could have happened to McCarthy in future years
Yeah,
going forward?
it sucks for this year, but yeah,
Because then, I mean, at least right now he's learning what mistakes that you cannot afford to make. He's learning all the bad things. Get that all out of your system. And like Drake May did this year, you come out and you fucking light the world on fire your second season in the league. Because right now,
yeah,
Drake May is and to his own credit, is in the MVP conversation this year.
yeah, he's one of your top 2-3 guys
For as bad as he looked last season, and with the way he did things there in New England, a lot of fans over there in New England were out on Drake May. Look what he's doing now. His second year in the league. But the thing that sucks most for a lot of people is, am I going to be here next year? Am I going to be here tomorrow? I don't know. I want to see the Vikings do something of some significance. They haven't been in the Super Bowl in my lifetime. At least get there for me.
I was 2 the last time they were there, so I don't remember.
Right.
Yeah, Sarah, we mentioned that earlier in the show too, but yes, exactly.
Great comments.
Any and all quarterbacks are better with a run game. Yeah, Norris, you're not wrong.
I don't think so. I think Baker's MVP has kind of fizzled out. I think it's kind of tempered off.
Yeah.
Now it's Drake May, and depending on how Josh Allen and Patrick Mahomes finish the season, it's between those three guys, in my opinion.
Mahomes hasn't been
The
anything.
only way Mahomes is getting is if he makes the playoffs and he makes some noise in the playoffs.
Yeah, but
right now, Josh Allen's even kind of Drake May has been the only consistent one throughout in amongst those three top guys throughout the entire season.
Josh Allen, I mean, he's looked like crap the last.
Right, I think Drake May in his second year may go out and grab that.
What
MVP.
is it? Josh Allen's had like 7 interceptions in the last 3 games or something like that.
Yeah, he's definitely not looking good.
No, he's not.
Mahomes is having a off season. Stafford's looking really good.
Right now, I believe it's between Stafford and Drake May.
Right, and then maybe depending on if Jonathan Taylor keeps it going, but it's really hard for somebody outside of the quarterback to win the MVP.
It's 9 times out of 10.
Jonathan Taylor probably get Offensive Player of the Year, but
which he deserves.
I think it's between May and Stafford right now as far as MVP of the league goes right now.
Yeah,
and with the roster that May's got too, I mean, he's doing a lot there with a lot of nothing.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, let's move on here. Go to the keys to the game. What do we need to do tomorrow to come out with a victory?
Whichever way you are.
Yeah, done. Against the Packers. Lance, the floor is yours.
I mean, I think we've already kind of hit on it all as far as keys go. Taking advantage of a defense that's kind of beat up over there in Green Bay. Looking to see if McCarthy is taking more steps in the right direction. Get back to playing good football again. Last week was not an example. Outside of that last drive that you had, I want to see a continuation of the last offensive drive. I want to see a Detroit game again. I don't care if it's out of the world numbers. I just want to see a Detroit game again out of my quarterback. Played a good game that week. Defensively, stick to fundamentals. Don't be overthinking. I feel like this defense is overthinking in every category. There's too worried about certain. Yeah, there's a lot going on defense, especially later on in the game. I think the defense has played good enough this year to be a playoff defense, but you can't have your defense on the field for fucking 10 series in the game, So 10 to 12 series in the game, you're going to get gassed. And that's what a lot of the times what we're seeing at the end of games is this defense is wore out. So, I mean, we just need to put it all together again. I mean, the fat lady doesn't sing until the fat lady sings, and she hasn't sang yet. So, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I think we've discussed a lot about this Green Bay game, and I think we got a lot of the keys out of the way already, but We'll see what we see tomorrow.
Yeah. Josh took my first point. The KISS
Keep it
theory.
simple.
Keep it simple, stupid. Don't overcomplicate things. We've seen it in the scripted plays and when you're running tempo. McCarthy is better than when he has to sit out there and do a lot of thinking and stuff. The game is too fast for McCarthy right now, and if you can slow it down for him by doing some of this stuff, you do that. Again, short yardage runs. We still have not completed a pass on third or fourth and short this year. But when we run the ball, we convert at like 70% of the time.
You got to start taking advantage of this good offensive line when it comes
Yep.
to run blocking. Run blocking's always been our offensive line's go-to.
Yep.
Really overpass blocking. Now it's starting to become more balanced offensive line. Start using that to your advantage. That should open up your playbook completely, whether you want to pass on third and short, or run on third and short. You've got an offensive line that can do a lot of things for you right now.
Mm-hmm. Then the other thing, get to Jordan Love early and often. We've shown in the past where you start hitting him and getting him off his marks, he'll throw interceptions and he'll look bad. And keep it up because, like you brought it up last year when we were over there, when we went out to like a 21-0 lead or whatever it was. And then we started playing back and we let him get comfortable, and all of a sudden they're right back in the fucking game.
Well, it all started out with a bad punt return by somebody that doesn't normally return punts, and Jalen Naylor kind of poked a hole in the ceiling, and then the water just came through.
Yeah, I mean, that happens.
You can't be having that, and I don't think that team is like that this year where something bad happens, they just fold. I haven't seen that at all, except for in the Chargers game, something bad happened and we completely folded. And it wasn't even the end of the first quarter in the Chargers game.
Something bad happened in that Chargers game, the opening kickoff.
And then we folded completely for the rest of the game. I haven't seen that outside of that game this year. So,
yeah, and to Ants bring it up and everything else.
No, you didn't, Doc. Thank God he stayed the fuck
out
of here.
He did not grace us with his presence tonight. No, but special teams penalties and missed assignments and all that other stuff. Clean it up, fix it up, or these guys got to get off the fucking team. But so with that,
I said, it's just been a disappointing. This roster is a playoff roster, in my opinion.
Yeah,
people want to say this roster's too old, can't get anything done. No, it's a playoff roster. It's just we haven't been able to put it all together on a consistent basis.
Yeah. So with that, let's roll into the predictions segment, where of course we not only pick this week's Vikings game, but also the other games in the NFC North. Since we are playing the Packers this week, there are 3 games, starting out with the New York Football Giants traveling to the Motor City to take on the Lions.
The Lions should steamroll New York. New York had a good shot at, and I wish they would have pulled through on beating Green Bay last week, but
they should have, but
they did it. And the Motor City Kitties are going to beat New York Giants. The Giants just are not a good football team at all whatsoever.
And Jackson Dart's not playing, and Scadabo's out for the year. It could be entertaining, Jameis Winston starting, but
yeah, it could be entertaining, but I don't see them being able to keep up with Detroit.
I think the Lions win this one pretty easily. So then the second game, Pittsburgh going to Soldier Field to take on the Bears.
Rudolph quarterbacking, I'm guessing. Yeah, I think Rodgers is out for 6 weeks or the foreseeable future. So Mason Rudolph playing quarterback for the Steelers there. I mean, I would like to see the Steelers beat the Bears just because right now I'm just over it with that fucking team and its fan base.
Yeah.
I think they deserve a little bit of a humbling. Are the Steelers going to win? I don't know, but I'm picking them just out of fucking angst.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's defense is good, and they've been playing a lot better the last few weeks. Now, the thing of it is, if Mason Rudolph is quarterbacking, can they score points?
I mean, he knows how to run that offense better than anybody in that quarterback room. He's been there how long? I mean, outside of the last year, he knows that system that they run over there. So I think Mason Rudolph can do it. I think he can get it done. It's just, does Chicago get lucky again?
They've had a
I don't know if
horseshoe.
it's luck either because Chicago's really starting to string together some wins.
Yeah, but they've had a horseshoe shoved up their ass the last
They've had a
several
powder
weeks
puff
too.
schedule as well. We were the
That there
hardest
is
team.
that too.
We were the hardest team they faced all year so far, and they barely beat us. And we were playing probably our shitty outside of the Chargers game, our shittiest football of all season. So
Yeah, offensively anyway. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but yeah, I'm going to take Pittsburgh here also. Just yeah, I think that a good defense last week. The Bears' offense didn't look that great, and I think Pittsburgh can do more of the same. I think they're going to see a little bit of what we did last week, and it's going to be close. But I think I think Pittsburgh takes this.
that's what's going to keep the North close. That's why I said it. The fat lady doesn't sing until the fat lady sings.
Yeah,
We're still in it, man. We are still in it. The NFC North, I don't think they're as good as far as playing each other. But are the teams really that good? 3 NFC North teams made the playoffs last year. Not one of them made it out of the first game.
yeah.
So
No,
is the NFC North maybe a little overrated? I think they might be, to be honest with you, Rhino.
maybe. Now,
As much
I
as I'm
said,
throwing that word around tonight, I'm sorry, but
yeah, but like you and I talked about before we started the show tonight, I'm not. Playoffs aren't even in my mind right now. It's just
this is
a week at
focus
a
on getting back to
time.
500.
A week at a time, and I want to see McCarthy making strides and making improvement every week. Right now, that's what matters to me. If we
Yeah.
somehow or another make the playoffs after this, great. If we don't, all right. But yeah, bringing that to the main game of the weekend, the Vikings traveling to Lambeau to take on the Pack.
Okay, with that being said, and with what I've just said a few minutes ago, if we can't beat this Packers team, then we might as well just flush the fucking season down the toilet as far as doing anything outside of developing our quarterback goes. So we should have. There's like 4 games this season that we could have easily have won, and we just lost from teams that were giving us the game throughout. So yeah, if we can't beat Green Bay, and we can go in and we can beat somebody like Detroit in Detroit, who the fuck are we?
Yeah.
We don't even know at that point. You can go in and beat Detroit in their house, but we can't go into Green Bay playing a beat up Jordan Love, a dismantled defense at Green Bay. We have no business meddling in postseason affairs.
No.
So I'm going to leave it at that. But I do. With that being said, I think we go out and we play another complete game. We've been playing our best ball against division opponents outside of last week.
On the road, at least.
Yes, I think we go into Green Bay tomorrow and we start making our fans think again about what this team is and how good they can be. We win. We pick up the win tomorrow.
Yeah, one of these weeks is going to
One of
click.
the craziest things when you're climbing the whole season right around the 500 mark.
Mm-hmm.
You just don't know who your team is.
Right.
Week by week. Like I said last week, they all depending on which team shows up that we are. We don't know who we are. One week we show up as a monster that's just looking to take over the division, to the next week showing up and looking like the worst team in the division.
Mm-hmm. And that's the trials and tribulations of having basically a rookie quarterback. I mean,
we don't know who we are on a week-to-week basis right now at this point.
No, we don't. But it's been up one week and down the next, so this should be an up week then. So I'm going to take the Vikings. I think it's going to be close. Probably might be a 3-4 point game, something like that. But yeah, we need a win. We just for the fan base, if nothing else. Like I said, I'm not even thinking about playoffs right now. But
I would love to have McCarthy have a breakout game tomorrow against the Packers of all teams.
Oh God, that would be awesome. Yes.
Yes.
And I would love that more. That would.
You know what? LaFleur could cram it up his cram hole then.
Cram it up your cram hole, LaFleur.
Exactly.
But, yeah. So with that, you got anything else you want to hit before we
No.
call it a night?
I think the tempo of tonight's episode went as such and was a good one. And yeah, I think we're good. I think we hit everything this week.
No. All right. So with that, big thank you to everybody in the chat. Great discussion, great comments as always. Josh, I will get your your present or your prize coming out to you here
Love the
shortly.
doc.
It's been a week, and I didn't get a chance to get it mailed out, but I'll get it out to you.
I love that. I love it. Love can't dodge a wrench.
Yeah, you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball.
Oh.
But yes, thank you to everybody again for joining us, for showing up on a Saturday night, and
Love seeing you in there,
let's
Jared.
just
Every
go out and
once
get a
in a while,
damn
I
win
love seeing
tomorrow.
you in
That's
there.
all we need.
Yes. Yes.
So with that, take us home, Brunswick.
Man, I don't even know. I think I said all I needed to say, get off my back at the beginning of the episode. But man, I love you guys. I love all you commenters out there. A lot of good new names in the chat tonight too, guy. And then we got our once in a whileers coming in tonight too that pop in here and there. So that's great to see all you guys. Man, let's get a win tomorrow against Green Bay. I love this team, but man, does it pay its toll on me. I feel like it ages me sometimes. So I'm sticking. I've always stuck with it. I always will. But God, this weekend or this year, this season's becoming a slow burn and a drag in a bit of a way. Let's go on a win streak. That would really make things much brighter. So let's start that tomorrow.
Yeah.
In Green Bay. With that being said, love you all. Millie and Aubrey, if you're out there watching, Dad loves and misses you. Skull.
Have a great weekend, everybody.